minutes online meditation. I'll start again. Welcome. This is Omindfulness and an online guided meditation. So thank you for being here. We're here to support each other in our formal mindfulness practice. Sometimes it's hard to keep going on our own. So joining online, live, or coming in later is a really good way just to keep the practice going. Today, I'll guide us in 10 minutes mindfulness of the breath, followed by just a few words on judgment. So while we practice, I encourage you to notice when the judging mind comes in. And judgments can be anything from, I'm not doing this properly, I should be calmer, to everyone else can do this better than me, or I'm really brilliant at this meditation thing. Judgments come in many shapes and forms, and they can be opinions or wanting things to be different, improvements that we make. So just watch the mind and see what it does to try and change or improve your experience. And when we notice that, it enables us to really notice what our experience is before the mind comes in and says it could be different. So we take an attitude of warmth and kindness. This really helps to allow us to be here and to be with things as they are. It's a way of connecting with our truth of now, not as we would like things to be, but connecting with things as they really are. So we focus the mind on the breath. This helps to bring a certain amount of tranquility. And once we're there, we can start to notice, picking up the detail and watching those judging thoughts, not getting caught up in them if possible. A dignified posture helps us to stay alert. And closing our eyes for 10 minutes, mindfulness of the breath. Noticing how it feels to sit. Can we feel our bodies? Can we feel our connection with the chair, with the cushion? How is our weight distributed? Are there warmer places? Are there particular zones of contact or pressure? Can we connect with the body through the sense of touch? We may be aware of clothes touching our skin. We may be aware of our hands and where they're resting. Coming into the body connecting with the physical sensations present. Sensing the body rather than thinking about it. It's normal for the mind to wander off. So when we notice that we've drifted away, we kindly bring our attention back to the body, back to the moment. With an attitude of non-judgement, which means allowing things to be as they are. And once we've come home to the body, however imperfectly, we invite our attention to the breath. Observing the physical sensations as the lungs gently fill and empty. Noticing the flow, noticing the pauses between the breaths. Maybe we can feel the ribs moving. Maybe we can feel the belly moving. Maybe there's a caress of air as we breathe in and out through the nose and throat. And when the mind wanders or tells us a story, passes an opinion, we acknowledge where it has gone or what it is saying. And then we come back to the physical sensations of breathing. Giving ourselves the precious gift of being here right now with this breath. And the thoughts or the opinions can be there, but we don't engage. We're feeling the breath. We are entering a state of being rather than doing. Just for now, we can allow things to be as they are. Noticing the detail, connecting with the subtle physical sensations of breathing. And noticing the mental comments. That's just what minds do. Sometimes they tell us we should be breathing differently. We could be sensing more. We're focusing really well. We're distracted because we haven't practiced. Setting judgments and opinions aside and being with the experience of this moment, this breath, this physical sensation of now. And just a few more breaths in mindful awareness. And we be with these last inhalations and exhalations, just the way they are. Nothing to do, just notice. And when we're ready, opening our eyes and noticing that transition too. You may like a yawn or a stretch. Even a few minutes can completely change our neurotransmitters and the way we feel. Being is good for us. Now, you may have noticed that the mind does a lot of judging. I expect you had a few comments going on. And it's not only when things are turning out as we would not have liked. So we might be familiar with the mind that says, oh, it shouldn't have been like this, or I could have done that better. But the mind comes in and judges when there are happy and joyful events, or when there's an achievement. And you might get to the top of a hill after a wonderful climb and think, oh, I don't do this often enough. Or if I was fitter, I wouldn't have sweated as much on the way up. Or I wish so-and-so was here. Or why didn't I bring my camera? There are so many judgments and opinions that come in to try and improve our situation. And we have talked about the workings of the mind before and why we're constantly looking for threats. and why we feel that we need to be making improvements. It's all to do with our survival. But because we're rather overactive in that department, we end up really spoiling a perfectly good day, a perfectly good hike, a perfectly lovely trip or meal or cup of tea with a friend by thinking of how it could be different or better, rather than being with things just as they are. And so when we practice in our formal meditation, we have the opportunity to play with this and to notice, such that when we're out in maybe more charged situations, we're ready to see what's going on and notice the mind spoiling our moments sometimes. So I invite you this week to notice the mind and what it does, and remember that thoughts can be seen as threats. So when we say, oh, this isn't right, or I could do better, that's seen as a threat, and we are primed to notice threats. That's what helped us survive in the past. So rather than just responding to outer threats, like a car that cuts you off, we respond to the inner threats of our own thoughts. And so when we do that to ourselves, when the thoughts come in and they're critical and they're proposing improvements all the time, these are seen as threats, and we respond to them and we believe them much more readily than we will believe the kinder, more gentle thoughts. So to redress this balance, we spend our formal meditation with kindness and warmth, and this helps us to yes, bien sûr, notice threats, but also have the balance of the other side of being on our own side, being our own best friend. Thank you for being here. Have a mindful week, noticing the thoughts and the judgments, and be gentle, keep practicing, and I'll see you soon for another online Sangha. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.